That is the question that keeps so many of you up at night. You worked for 20, 30, 40 years. You did your time, you gave your life to a company, and you were promised that when you crossed that retirement finish line, your check would be there. Month after month, like clockwork. But lately, you're looking at the news, you're seeing companies reorganize, you're hearing about economic downturns, and a cold dread settles into your stomach. You want to know, plain and simple, can they take it away? Can that money just vanish? Listen to me. I want you to take a deep breath, but I also want you to wake up and face reality. Because the short answer is no, a healthy company cannot just wake up one day and decide to delete your pension. It is protected by federal law under ERISA, the Employee Retirement Income Security Act. But, and this is a massive but that you must understand, while they cannot just steal it from you, you can lose a portion of it, or see it altered, under very specific, dangerous circumstances. Let's talk about the absolute biggest fear out there, company bankruptcy. What happens if the company you worked for goes completely under? If the company goes bust, and their pension fund doesn't have enough money to cover what they promised you, that is a crisis. But you are not completely unprotected. The federal government has a safety net called the PBGC, the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation. They step in as the trustee. They take over the underfunded plan and they pay your monthly benefit. But here is where the rubber meets the road, and where you need to stand up and pay attention. The PBGC has legal limits on how much they will guarantee. If you are a high earner, or if you retired early, the government cap might be lower than what your company originally promised you. For most everyday workers, the PBGC maximum insurance limits will cover your full check. But if your pension was substantial, or if your company added big, fancy benefit increases right before they went bankrupt, specifically within the last 5 years before the plan failed, the government will not fully guarantee those recent increases. You could see your monthly check take a hit. Then there is the trap of the corporate handoff. Have you received a letter in the mail offering you a lump sum buyout? Or maybe a notice saying your pension is being transferred to a private insurance company through an annuity? This is happening everywhere right now. Companies want these massive pension liabilities off their books. So they offer you a single chunk of cash to walk away, or they buy an insurance contract to pay you instead. If you take that lump sum, or if they transfer you to an insurance annuity, do you know what happens? You are officially out of the federal safety net. The PBGC protections end the second that transfer happens. If you take the lump sum, the responsibility shifts 100% to you. If you invest it poorly, or if the market tanks the next year, that money can dwindle to nothing. You traded a lifetime guarantee for a pile of cash that you now have to manage. And if it goes to an insurance company, you are no longer backed by the federal government, you are backed only by your state's guarantee association, which has completely different, and often lower, coverage limits. So what do you do with this? How do you protect your peace of mind right now? Your very first actionable takeaway is to find out exactly where your plan stands. Do not bury your head in the sand. You need to request a document called the Annual Funding Notice. By law, your plan administrator has to provide this. Look at the funding percentage. If that number is 80% or higher, your pension is in relatively good, stable health. If it is dipping down into the 60s or 50s, that plan is severely underfunded, and you need to start preparing your financial life for the reality that the company might face a distress termination down the line. Second, if you ever get that knock on the door offering you a lump sum payout versus keeping your monthly pension annuity, do not make an emotional decision. Look at your health, look at your family history, and look at your alternative income sources like Social Security. For the vast majority of people who need guaranteed cash flow to pay their electric bills and buy groceries, keeping the monthly pension, even if it gets transferred to a highly rated insurance company, is far safer than taking a lump sum and trying to play stock market wizard in your 70s or 80s. You earned this money. It is your security. Stay informed, read every single piece of mail your plan sends you, know your plan's funding status, and protect your retirement with your eyes wide open.